The garage seems to be the only part of the house left untidied. The air is thick, a little damp. Dust sticks to objects like a second skin. Where Ranzo's room felt immaculately preserved, this place feels lost to time. Or, a bit of a sty down here, Mum.
That's why I need you to help me out with it. I just need you to get those boxes on the top shelf.
Right on. Ranzo pulls a stepladder out, tucked behind the back end of a car covered by a red cloth. The ladder looks rickety. You alright there, Ranz? It's fine. I'll hold it. I stand on the other side of the ladder, holding it firmly in place with both hands. Ranzo goes up and down it a few times, taking boxes and placing them atop an unplugged mini-fridge. Stop looking at the way his shirt rides up. I'm not, You're a parody of yourself. Ranzo passes the last of the 3 boxes down to his mum, dusting his hands. Whew!
Oh, thank you, Danny. And let's get these into the living room, shall we?
Agnes leans and takes the smaller of the 3 boxes. Ranzo takes one of the larger ones in both hands. I pick up the one on top of the fridge. It's heavy, and I need to spend a while balancing it properly before I can follow the 2 of them up the stairs. My back twinges. You're out of shape. The 2 of them are out of the room as I place the box down to readjust. A few quick stretches, race, and... Squatting down to get a better grasp of it, I spot something jammed into the side. A small plastic fishnet. The rocks press hard into the soles of my feet. I regret taking off my sandals, but Dan's dad said they'd slip if I kept them on. A clear plastic bucket swings in my hand as I use my other to steady myself, climbing the wave-bashed shore. Stone. Oops.
Riley, hurry up!
I clasp a small blue fishing net between my teeth and scramble forward.
Coming!
Reaching the top, I see them all gathered round the largest rock pool I've ever seen. 2 dogs and a wolf, all gray. The adult is the scruffiest of the bunch. There's the last of the adventuring team.
Come on!
I take the net in my left hand and waddle between cracks in the stone. As I approach, Dan is hunched over the pool with a net of his own.
I found a hermit crab.
I hold the clear, upside-down castle up proudly. Some fish flit back and forth in the current, with a couple of ghostly prawns. In one of the turrets, buried in sand, the legs of a crab poke out of a white shell.
I got a bigger one.
Eliza lets me look inside a round bucket. A large red crab slowly sidesteps around the base. Beady, stalked eyes survey the strange creatures above it.
Whoa! What did you get, Dan?
He's working on it. The scrappy gray dog is poised, net in hand, waiting patiently to strike. His dad places 2 hands on a large stone and braces himself against the side of the pool. Okay, ready, Dan?
Ready, Dad?
3, 2, 1... The rock slowly moves, opening up a crack beneath it. A cloud of sand erupts. Now! Dan's net springs forward, jamming down into the depths. His elbows jostle with something, figuring out its weight.
I got it! Riley!
I hold out my bucket as Dan hoists the little net from the water. It bends its plastic neck, water arcing in with the clumsy haul. The catch plunges into my sandcastle bucket. It brings with it scraps of seaweed and disturbed sediment. The water clouds. Nice job!
What is it? What is it?
The water thrashes, still muddied with debris. I hold it up to the sun and we all wait for it to settle.
Told you it was big.
A silhouette is visible first. A looming giant within the castle walls. Slowly, more of it comes into view. A fat, dark brown body. Small spikes around its mouth. It flicks its fins and spins around, settling momentarily each time. We all stare in awe of the Leviathan. You're a brave one catching that. He tussles the scruff of Dan's hair, who remains transfixed on the scene within the bucket. Sunlight tints the dull water. The fish gently turns above the smaller fish. The prawns and the reclusive crab. It's like we've lifted a chunk out of the ocean itself and frozen it in time. The calm is mesmerizing.
Can we take him home? You're not allowed. Why not? Because they live in the sea. It's salt water. We have salt in the kitchen, and we can put it in the fishbowl.
Eliza's right, Dan. The sea's where they live. Ranzo's eyes turn sad as they follow the giant.
But he's so pretty.
It's not really pretty, but it's cool.
I think he's pretty.
It ceases its spiral, facing Dan directly. It's as though it heard his compliment. Dan's expression lifts again. I don't think this fish has ever heard someone call it pretty before. The water splashes again. The sediment kicks back up, but the creature jolts into the turret of the castle. It thrashes and bites. The fish and prawns push up against the see-through walls. They must be terrified, trapped by something they don't understand. Dan shrieks and steps back, the bucket falling from his frightened hands. It turns sideways into the water. All creatures scatter to different corners of the pool. A fat shadow darts back to the boulder layer. The plastic castle floats, half submerged in the rocking water. My heart races. Dan covers his face, muffling his distress. Eliza stands to the side. Dan's dad kneels beside him, a firm hand on his shoulder. Hey, hey! Dan stays as he is. Show me your face. He pries the pup's damp paws from his eyes. They're big and blue and full of tears. He chokes on his words. Come on, chin up.
But he...
That's how things are in the sea, Danny. The big fish eat the smaller fish. I feel my own throat tightening. I remember the nervous little crab hiding away in the most secluded spot he could find. Not secluded enough.
You're both softies.
Eliza, that's rude. His attention turns to me, sighing as he picks the bucket out of the pool. Water pours from a crack in the base. She's right, though. You boys ought to toughen up a bit if you're gonna be real adventurers. Dan pulls himself to his feet, wiping his sniffling nose on his arm. Don't cry, Dan. It's just a crab.
Sorry.
Here. Taking his son's hand, he guides him around the edge of the pool. Tip yours out, Eliza. Let's head back. My shoulders shiver as I walk beside them both. Eliza jumps between the biggest cracks in the rocks, down to the water's edge. She moves expertly, not spilling a drop from the bucket. Sitting at the edge of the earth, Eliza takes a last look at the red crab that she caught. It paces in the safety of its confines. No predators to snatch it up. She turns her eyes to the vast expanse. Dense and blue. creatures far bigger than that fish waiting beneath its misty skin. Her ears go flat against her head. She lets it go. Took your time with that, Riley. Not too heavy, I hope. The other 2 boxes have already been set down on the coffee table. It's fine. Look what I found. Setting down the box, I hold up the net.
Oh, I remember when you boys would go to the beach. I couldn't keep you away from the rocks.
Yeah. Remember that time we saw a snake? No? Of course you do. He slithered out of the hole in the cliff and went back in. Big black diamonds on his back. I shake my head. You gotta remember that. We ran all the way back to the beach. I don't think I was there for that one. You were definitely there. We should go rock pooling this week. See if we can find another one. And maybe tomorrow? I spin the little net between my fingers. Bet I can catch more than you. You're on. While we've been talking, Agnes has been sorting through the other boxes. She scours over each piece of paper she can find. A few old council tax forms lay in a discarded bundle on the floor. What's this in aid of, Mum?
Well, it's about your father, dear.
She folds a piece of paper idly in her hands.
I've been meaning to ask. I've been speaking with Richard about getting the necessary things together.
For the memorial?
Well, yes, the memorial, of course, but for his side of the will, too.
Ranzo's tone sharpens. What?
It had a lot left between them, the both of them, and, well...
She kneads at the shawl around her neck.
Well, your father is technically no longer entitled to any of it.
Go on. Richard needs to go over some of the... I assume this should be Agnes.
Richard needs to go over some of the papers. They're technically in your grandfather's name, so...
Doesn't he have them already? Agnes sighs, flipping slowly through another stack of old papers.
He told me he looked, but he couldn't find them. Your dad kept some of the grand's things here, so it's the next likely place. I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier. I didn't want to upset you while you were heading over.
I feel like an intruder in this moment. Ranzo stiffens his back. Granddad's stuff is in there too, isn't it?
Some things, yes.
Only give Richard the papers if you find them. Nothing else. His tone is unusually stern.
He might have to take all the boxes, Danny. There's a lot to go through. She was his mother, Danny. He needs all of this to sort things out.
But Granddad wasn't his dad. You know he's looking for his stuff. Agnes tweezes the curly hairs at her temple, eyes briefly exasperated.
He's coming over later with the car. He'll be staying for dinner.
Her voice sounds resigned. My quiet presence feels like shrapnel in a wound. Leave. You can't leave. It would be rude. Look, me and Riley, we're going to head to town. When's Richard coming over?
Around 6. He's looking forward to seeing you.
Sure he is. I'll be here for it. I can help you sort through more of this later.
Thank you, dear. You boys have a nice time in town. You're welcome to come for dinner, too, if you'd like, Riley.
Thank you, Mrs. Levant, but I think I've got plans for dinner tonight.
That's nice. You doing things with Joe and the girls?
Actually, it's not... No. I'm meeting someone else.
Oh, well, have a nice time together.
Thanks. Looking to Ranzo, I tap my palms against my thighs. Should we be off? Ready when you are. Right. It was nice to see you, Mrs. Agnes.
Lovely to see you too, Riley. You know Danny doesn't have to be back for you to stop by and say hello. With your mom and dad up country now, you should come round for something proper home cooked.
Thanks. I'll take up that offer sometime. You should. You won't. I close the door behind us. Ranzo walks briskly to the front gate. Whew. You alright? He holds the gate open for me as I pass by him. He closes it. Then opens it slightly. Then closes it again. Must be something wrong with the latch. Was nice to see Mum. What's Richard looking for? Don't worry about all that. You've still got to show me around town. For sure. Get a pacey down ya. You'll forget about it. Wonder if anyone else fancies joining. Go to ask, I suppose. I know Sal's busy. I'll try Joe and Billy. I type a message to both of them. Outside Baker Favreau's, Ranzo and I stand with a paper bag, piping hot with the smell of a savory pastry. Coming up the cobbles of a side street, a little bird in an oversized sweater catches his breath.
What's on, lads?
What's on? Hey, Joe. Any sign of Billy? Billy's 20 miles out of town on his bike. Sal's busy too. Oh, alright. Before Joe can catch his breath, we're pacing down the main street.
Just the three Busketeers, I'm afraid. Should have brought the mandolin, Rance.
I need to practice a bit. It's been back at the place the whole time.
Maybe we should have a jam this week at mine.
That could be good. Though, do you have room for a drum set?
Nah, I sold it years ago. I've got a sampler I can use, though.
You fancy that, right, Red? I'll need to practice too, but sure.
Talking of music, you know anything about sea shanties, Rance? I'm trying to track down an old one at work, but just got a melody.
If it's not Drunken Sailor or Lever Johnny, probably not. It's considered boat nerd stuff on board. A bit looked down on.
You're wearing a blue and white striped shirt. Is that not boat nerdy?
I like stripes. Ranzo looks around the buildings, their walls patchy from wind exposure and repainting efforts. Right then, what's new? Joe outstretches a hand in a grand arc towards a vape shop. Cloud 9.
Ta-da! Remember what this used to be?
Not sure. Wait. His bushy eyebrows pinch together as he mulls it over. It was the, old-timey sweet shop, right? Mr. Simmons. Joe's talons click at his palm. He speaks with the tone of a TV game show host.
Correct!
Probably still is a sweet shop for you.
Ugh, no. Hate vapes.
Why?
They don't hit right. The flavors are always shite.
And tobacco's nice?
So nice.
Joe's talons scratch at his jeans before flicking up towards a broad building with gray concrete pillars preceding a row of blacked out floor-to-ceiling windows.
What's that one?
Ranzo doesn't miss a beat. Not the old market.
That's the one.
That's a sad one.
Not really. Place was going under for years. I think they use it as a storage for fishing stuff now.
They should have turned it into a gig venue. Could fit tons of people in. think someone tried that, actually. Oh?
Couldn't get a license sorted. It's all flats above it. The landlord's kicked off about potential noise complaints.
So, now the tenants got to live above a room filled with fish. Great. It's prime real estate, baby. God. Ranzo whistles through his teeth. I used to go there with Mom and Dad. It was pretty good. Sold everything in there.
Not enough, clearly.
At this point, we've walked past the last of the gray pillars. A thin, steep street leads down to a small storm harbor. There's an entrance to a pub on the corner. It's painted sky blue.
Alright, last one.
Shit. Not the King's Horns. I know, right? Big shame. Ranzo cups his hands around his eyes and presses them to the window. No, they gutted it.
Yep. Turning it into flats or something.
Ranzo steps back, shoulders raised and sulking. Had some good gigs there. That sucks. He looks down the thin, steep street, towards the spot on the waterfront. Want to park up down there? Sure. Joe's the first down. He clears some empty silver canisters to the side with his foot.
After you.
We sit with our legs hanging on the rough stone of the harbor wall. Ranzo puts down his paper bag and pulls out 3 smaller ones. He passes them around to each of us. Him and Joe's are marked with F. Mine is marked with V.
Veg one, Riley?
I think I'm having friend with a dinner later. Jesus Christ. I think I'm having dinner with a friend later. That's the one. That's the one.
Hey, it's mostly pastry anyway, not much difference.
Who's the friend? It's just someone stopping through for the week. You don't know him. Joe bites into his pasty, heat billowing from the top like a chimney in the cold air. He winces as a trickle of hot grease rolls over his fingers. Ranzo blows at the top of his before taking a bite of the crust. My heel taps out a slow rhythm against the stone. Funny being back in this spot, isn't it? All the band but Marin. Ranzo swallows, flakes of pastry dotted on his mustache. Oh, is Marin? Is she still around? He takes another hefty bite as I start on mine.
Yeah, she's up at the church. Gonna be a vicar soon.
Ranzo chokes on his mouthful. You're joking!
I'm not. She's gone full God mode.
Riley, he's having me on, right? I finish my bite. No, robes and all. Wow, she's the last of us I'd expect for that. Who's the first? Sal, I guess? What?
Lesbian atheist 1993?
I just thought because her family's all gaudy. But, fair point. Still, though. Vicar Marin. Joe's sharp beak nibbles on a hard bit of crust. His voice is flat.
She sent everyone a message about it years ago. Should have kept up.
Ranzo hasn't taken another bite yet, but he stays quiet.
I see her pretty often, actually.
Should have invited her to hang out this week.
If she has time, sure. She's pretty busy. Doesn't drink, neither.
What about the jam session? Oh yeah, does she still play guitar?
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. It'll be like before.
Makes a change from hymns, I guess.
This gets a little chuckle out of Ranzo. Let's do it. Joe, finishing the last of his pastry, crumples the paper bag up in his hand.
I'll ask her tomorrow.
He starts rolling up a cigarette. We sit there on the wall for a while longer. We finish our lunch and sit quietly as the water rocks the boats around. Joe lights a cigarette. Gray clouds chase each other over the town. We stay in this spot, saying nothing. The wind howls as if trying to blow us from our stubborn stoop. Marin's company isn't the only thing missing. So too is the accomplished glow that used to accompany this spot. A half-empty car park. Cigarette smoke. The closed pub. 3 silent friends. Right. Ranzo heaves himself up, supporting himself on a railing. Should probably be getting off to Mum's.
See that shin bone then?
Yep.
He seems distracted.
I've got to head to the harbor. See you at the bar. I lean in, offering Ranzo a hug. Ranzo brings his arms around me, locking his hands together behind my back. I whisper, "Let me know how it goes, okay?" Ranzo responds with a firm squeeze, then pulls back. All right. See you later. See you boys later, then. Ranzo heads back up the slope towards the east side of town. What are you doing, Joe?
Probably just gonna grab a spot at Shinny's. Get a drink in.
On your own?
Sal said she wanted to chat beforehand.
Ah.
Should I be worried?
No.
Spoken with confidence.
I think she just wants to check in.
All right, well, see you later then. Don't let us keep you busy if your date goes well, though.
He winks as he turns. It's not a date. The harbor is calm. Gulls perch on whitened mastheads. They rock back and forth like the feeling in my gut. I nearly thought last night was a dream. I look around for proof it wasn't. Almost immediately, my heart stumbles. Amidst the familiar scene, a pale figure reclines against a railing. His open shirt billows across a yellow tee beneath. One foot crosses behind another, laced tight in black shoes. His gaze finds me.
Riley!
Hey, I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Griff checks his watch.
Not at all. 5 exactly.
It's more like 10 past. Right. Good.
Shall we walk?
Sure. Griff runs his fingers on the railing as we walk, small claws ticking on the salt-lashed iron.
I've missed it here.
You have?
Of course. It's nice being by the sea.
You've got plenty of coastline in the Republic, don't you?
Yeah, but it's not the same. This place has a different charm to it. Got some good memories here, too. Makes me wonder what I've missed out on over here.
I smile and shrug. Not much.
Come on, must be something.
If I name one thing that's changed, it's places closing down. Griff points back over his shoulder to Mildred's fish and chips shop on the corner.
Seems like some have opened, though.
It's new, but it's an Emmett business.
Emmett business?
You must know what an Emmett is. He shakes his head. It's like a tourist. Someone not from Kerneth.
Am I an Emmett then?
Well, you lived here, right? So, technically not.
Technically. You're too kind.
I say it for that place because the owner barely even comes here. They're a chef from upcountry. She's not even called Mildred. About 3 of them sprung up overnight in different towns. So it's not authentic. Is that the issue? You're sounding bitter. To be honest, I just miss the chip shop that used to be there. It was cheaper. Is there anything that hasn't changed that you're glad for? That's a good question. My brain skips over memories of the town, searching for something constant and comforting. Ah, shoot, what did I do last time? I want to say I did a place before in Griff's. So let's go with a feeling. I reach inside my chest and feel around for a familiar sensation. Something distinctly Port Warren. Air. There's something nice about the sea air. It can get pretty intense in a good way. It can be unforgiving, but it knocks some life into you. Couldn't imagine living somewhere without it. It'd feel too still. There's a wildness to it, isn't there? Right. It's good at keeping you going when you're in a low mood. I remember sitting at home at the cliffs and hearing the wind rattle the windows, whistling through the brackets. It makes you appreciate shelter when you've got it. Well, when you live along the cliffs, I flash a shallow smile. He tries to return one, but there's a tension pulling it down. I know things were difficult last time I saw you. Things have picked up a bit since then, thankfully. Liar. He stops. Turns. His smile comes back. About time we got something, don't you think? Griff nods over to a harborside restaurant. It's quite a fancy one. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Contemporary interior. I definitely can't afford it. Sure. Great. Let's see if they have a table. Would you like to try some wine, sir? A plucky waitress offers the bottle to Griff. Please. Everything in this place shines a little brighter. Sunlight sparkles through the wine as it's poured. Griff's eyes shine as well. He sips. Lovely, thank you. The waitress nods, smiling, and steps away with a snap of the heel. Looking down at our salads, I can't help but feel unfilled already. Didn't want to look greedy. Griff raises his glass to mine. Cheers! I take a drink. The wine is pleasantly dry? Full-bodied with a note of... You don't know what the note is. It tastes of wine. As I'm taking my first bite, Griff folds his arms and asks, So, Mr. Coates, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Don't talk with your mouth full. Griff waits patiently. I play into the tone he said. Well, I've spent the last 10 years developing my niche, my brand. Still working on your art, then? I shake my head. Music? I shake again. What then? What's the brand? You've certainly got a brand around town. Best not to mention that. I guess I'm still working it out. Free spirit. Not quite that poetic. You must have something. You said things were moving up. I turn the leaves in my mouth, peppery and slick with olive oil. It buys me time to think of what to say. I wasn't really happy with what I made. Doing it for uni stressed me out. Trying to do it outside of uni stressed me out too. I wear a smile. It wasn't meant to be. Griff pauses. That doesn't sound like the Riley I know. I hold the smile. Maybe I'm not. He looks me up and down. You sure look different, but that's to be expected. But when I saw you yesterday, even with the new look, I knew that was you. Griff twists a fork into the bed of leaves. You have a tell. A tell? What do you mean? The way you look at things, you sort of... He tilts his head to the side. His eyes flick to different points in the room, resting there for a while before moving to the next. I don't do that, do I? It's something I've always picked up on. He flicks them back to me. You observe things. I find myself as an unwilling participant in a staring contest. He's laser focused. The wind from the bay makes itself visible in the fabric of his shirt. It creases against his statuesque stillness. It makes waves through the white awning behind him. Its form... You're doing it again! I was just... It's not a problem. It's nice. That's why I don't believe you when you say you don't make stuff anymore. That attention must go into something. Maybe one day I'll give it another go. You were a lot less stable when you were making art. More self-absorbed. Just not right now. I take a quick bite too small to be considered a proper mouthful. You know, when I saw you yesterday, I had a hard time believing it. Do you believe it now? I can't help but chuckle. No, I don't. Why not? It was just so long. I thought you were gone for good. He reaches across the table, gently grabbing my wrist and giving it a little shake. There, this help? I feel my ears swivel back from embarrassment. He's toying with you. What I mean is... Look, things actually got worse for a while after you left. A lot of things. His grip loosens. Do you want to talk about it? Not right now. It was a while ago. A lot happens in a decade, I get it. A decade? Makes it seem even longer. I'm on the other side of it now, though. I suppose I'm working out what I'm doing now I'm here. You're being a bit too open about all this. I trust him. It's a fine place to be in. Speaking of the present, what have you been up to lately? Or today? I helped Ranzo get some things moved into his mom's place. How was he? A bit... I'm not sure. There's a weird feeling at that place. How come? Not surprised. There was some talk about his dad. They're doing a memorial service for him. I'm sorry to hear that. Did he pass away recently? No, actually. His grandma did a few years back, but... The dad thing is weird. He left when Ranzo was a teenager. Ah. Deadbeat. An out for cigarettes type, huh? He wasn't that type you'd expect for that. No alcohol or anger problems. Didn't smoke. Always seemed pretty friendly. Ranzo says the last thing he saw of him was taking his mechanics tools out one night. Is that what he did then? He worked at a garage. Did roadside repair too. He'd been doing a lot of late calls. Then, one night, he didn't come back. They found his car along the coast. What do you think happened? Mid-bite, I wonder if the extraneous details are worth covering. Some people thought he might have been attacked. Or committed suicide. Nothing pointed to either, really. Police looked into it, but they didn't really get anywhere. As usual. A few people had theories, but to put it simply, he had an affair. So I was kinda right on the deadbeat thing. How come that didn't come up earlier? Well, it's unconfirmed. A few people said they'd seen him with a woman some nights, north, up the coast. Matched up with the times Ranzo said he was out. He'd go out for roadside work. Don't think she was a local. So an Emmett, right? Am I using the term right? Pretty much. That's why people think they left upcountry somewhere. Or somewhere else. So why a memorial? Doesn't seem like he'd be worth remembering. The affair is just a possibility. I guess that's the problem. Nobody really knows what happened. If he's not dead, though, he may as well be. I think the memorial gives everyone some closure. I have to say, you're killing this. A dead grandmother, suicide, abandonment. You really know how to set the mood. Well, it's good that you're around for Ranzo at the moment. It sounds like he might need it. He's pretty much my best mate. I couldn't not be there. So where has he been? Hello, gentlemen. How are we finding everything? It's great, thanks. Can we get some more of the wine? Of course. She tops up our glasses while Griff makes approving chatter with her about the weather. When the waitress leaves, Griff turns his attention back to his plate. There's silence, a gap in conversation. What's wrong? He's been making the effort to carry this whole thing. He asked the questions, picked the wine, kept things rolling. I feel out of place in this restaurant and in this conversation. Say something. Start a conversation. What is there to say? Are you seeing anyone at the moment? His eyes go wide for a second. A shallow laugh. He brings a napkin to his mouth. I've seen some people. Seen? You know what he means. I've had some interest. Here and there. On and off. I haven't decided to lash anyone to the mast yet, though. God. It's kind of tricky, though. I'm never in one place long enough to put down roots, let alone really consider something like that an option. You should put down roots here. You should quit your job and move here, and then you can consider it an option. Yeah, I bet. I guess it comes with the territory, right? Guess so. How about you? Anyone? Oh, yes. Our Riley has the pick of the lay-by. No. Bet you've had some good ones, though. What do you mean? Come on. When we were young, you'd take me for walks by the sea. You'd draw, you'd paint, you'd write songs. You're a romantic, Riley. It's written all over you. I don't know about that. Don't hide it. Tell me about all the teenage crushes. Bad idea. The first loves. Even worse idea. The whirlwind boyfriends. Hell, maybe even a girlfriend if the years gave you a change of heart. Definitely not. Do you really want to know? Want me to? Do it in your Riley way. Paint the scene. Please don't do this. Well... I close my eyes. Blot out the world around me. Do my best to ignore my own calls to stop. My boots were drenched, parting pebbles. Crouched as crystal-thin waves rolled over. The sun dipped half between the sea and sky. its color seeping into both. A lantern made from wicker and paper swayed on the surface. Something burned inside, face down. It was morning, so you could barely see the lantern's light. I hoped I hadn't been too late. I watched it drift slowly out along the sunken causeway. Though I wanted it gone, I cried for sending it away. It had to go. It had to go. Hey, you okay? Someone stood behind me. They must have been there a while. Tide's coming in. You'll get caught if you don't move soon. I kept my eyes on the lantern, ears deaf to the land until a sigh cut through my temper. He stood beside me, facing the same horizon. What did you put in there then? I didn't answer. Just a sniff. Yeah. I got ones like that too. I don't do the lantern thing though. His hands hung down, black as coal. He shone bright in my periphery. My eyes still followed the lantern. It swept towards Keel's Rock. You wanted to forget it, right? So, forget it. Don't look at it. Look at me. I had to force my eyes shut to tear them from the sea. Look at me. I opened them to a new world. Kind and piercing. His eyes were the first to greet me. Then the bright clouds around them. Sea air whipped at his clothes. His black hand, palm up. I had not seen somebody like him before. My hand never felt so safe in that of a stranger's. I was pulled, weightless, to my feet. You're cold. Come on. I live just up on the cliffs. You want to come in? The edge of a salt pale house poked above the heathers of the headland. Thank you. We turned our backs to the lantern and to the sea. I walked with him, parting pebbles together. He brought me back to land. That's how I met my first and last boyfriend. Riley. I feel my chin wrinkling. I swallow the feeling. Good story, right? Have you really? No. What can I say? You set the bar too high. I'm sorry for... I shouldn't have brought it up. I brought it up. I asked about relationships. It's all right. Everything good for you, gentlemen? The waitress is back. Griff switches gear. Wonderful, thank you. Would you like to see it as a... Deploy the life jacket. Could we get the bill, please? Of course. She pulls out a black book and card reader. Riley, are you all... I'm fine, really. I reach for my wallet. Oh no, not today. Griff hands a silver card to the waitress between two fingers. Put it all on here, please. Griff, you can't... I can and I will, Mr. Coates. For last time. Griff, that was like 70 sterling. For a salad and some wine. Only with a tip? You guys don't tip enough here. Hey, I tip. But we actually pay our waitstaff a proper wage here, so... So you don't want to get good tips at the cafe? I didn't say that. He smirks, eyeing his watch. You should probably get to the pub soon. This was nice, though. I'm sorry things got a bit... weird at the end. Riley. He places a hand on my shoulder and brings something out from his back pocket. Here. A napkin. A phone number is written on it. I'd be happy to do this again, but if you have any other ideas, let me know. You're the creative one, after all. I take the napkin in my hand. Hold on to it as tight as you can. I'll text you mine. Look forward to it. I'll see you soon, Riley. Griff waves, then disappears up a thin, hilly street. I fold the napkin into my wallet and just stand there for a while. How did I pull that off? And we'll end it at the shin bone. I feel like this is the third time I've ended at a shin bone. Keep it consistent. As always, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!